pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Village Board meeting of August 14th, 2023. Roll call, please. Possession, Kraus.
Here.
Gardner.
Here.
Stacy.
Here.
Terry.
Here.
Giannetti. Okay. In your packet, you have minutes from the last board meeting. Does anyone have any changes, additions, deletions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Make the motion. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call. Kraus.
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
And before we get into anything else, would anyone from the audience wish to address the board?
That would be me.
That would be you.
Not real sure how this goes or.
You can just talk. Yeah.
I just,
Yep. Tell us what you want to do and yeah.
just opened up a gaming cafe that's been closed down.
And you are, I'm sorry, you are.
I'm Phyllis Carton West,
Okay.
605 Reed Street, Beecher, Illinois, 60401. So, that's what my plan
Is to open, you
is.
said,
Gaming cafe,
and where at?
Penfield,
Where at?
next to Sophia's.
So basically the 755 Penfield.
Well, we talked about, and there used to be two addresses, and I don't know what happened in between, but it's not.
Yeah, well, and I don't know, because when Sophia's first opened up, have they always had that address of 755? They haven't changed somewhere along the line, have they? Now, so it's been 755 since he opened. So I'm not sure what happened beyond that. And I know you had some plans and stuff before, and you would probably have to, it's not an agenda item, so they can just kind of get an idea of what you'd like to do tonight.
Okay.
Because like I told you, there's no open liquor licenses right now. So the board would have to vote on that.
Okay.
And we can only vote when it's an agenda item. But figured this is your chance to kind of let everybody know what your plan is, what you'd like to do, and, give them an idea of what we'd be looking at. What kind of food do you want to serve? What do you want?
First of all, do you want a beer only, or beer and wine, or what kind of liquor license you
I
want?
would prefer beer only,
Okay.
because, of course, for inventory purposes and.
Do you have any plans for a menu, or do you have any idea of what type of food you'd serve in the gaming cafe?
It would be, pizza in an oven and then other snacks. I'm not trying to open a restaurant, okay? Make that clear. I'm not trying to open.
And how big is that area that you want to put the gaming cafe in? Do you have the square footage or the size of the room?
No, but I had photos of it, because it's already prepared. It's already been.
If you have photos, I just want to pass them around for the board to look at. Because sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, you
Yeah.
know?
Is this separate and apart from Sophia's?
Separate.
So that there's a door that connects the two of them, or there are more than one doors that connect them?
No, it's, let me start right here, is that?
Sure, I'll pass it
Yeah,
around.
go ahead.
Thank you.
There is a opening in the wall. That's how you get from one side to the other.
So that would be sealed up
Yes,
permanently?
yes.
Do you have a name for this?
Yes.
It's a working title?
Work in
Yeah.
progress.
And you have separate washrooms for this room and everything?
Yeah. So if you seal that wall up, you don't need any access to
Right.
next door.
So are you changing, I know, it's pre-set up for, are you just gonna use what's there and basically put back in what was, I don't know if it's taken away or if
Yeah.
it's still there, or just turn off or
Mhm.
whatever it is?
Exactly.
Okay.
Are the
With
machines?
more table seating out in the open area when you see,
Okay.
Right now, Sophia's does not have gaming, correct?
that's what
What if Sophia's were to sell their business to somebody else and they put gaming machines in there, would that affect your business?
yeah, just like any other
Yeah.
gaming in town, yeah.
Because I gotta tell you, because you and I have already talked about this, you know, the thing I really dislike is, you know, regardless of what the address used to be, 755 Penfield is what it is now, and they already have a liquor license. So trying to give 2 liquor licenses to one address, or even next door to each other, does not excite me, but, you know, that's up to everybody else. I know in the gaming ordinance, they do want you to have a kitchen with, you know, food offerings, et cetera, so.
Do you feel that in your business plan, that if Sophia's were to put gaming machines in there, you could still survive?
Sure.
Okay.
I believe in myself. Yeah, maybe, you know. Yeah.
So you would want, you're gonna do beer only, you would be on tap, I'm assuming. I mean, everything, if you're gonna do service on site, you know, you can't have like carry out liquor or something to carry out, it's gotta be served,
Right.
so.
Would you be the lessee in this situation from the landlord?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I
because,
think you have to for game.
pardon?
I think you have to.
It has to be, you have to be the person who's leasing the space.
Okay, that,
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question.
So what was the address before, Todd? Do you remember?
As far as I remember, it's one. They had a big issue with 911 and trying to sort it out, and it was just 2 addresses for the building. I don't wanna say, cause I'm not 100% sure, so I don't wanna say the wrong thing. I could've swore that everything downstairs was 755, everything upstairs was considered 759, but I'm not 100% sure.
So was it ABC?
No, that was it, there was no like delineation, and that was the thing.
So the barber shop is 755 as well?
I can't remember offhand. I don't wanna say the wrong thing, I can't remember offhand. I'm sure it's written down somewhere.
I thought if you,
remember.
I don't know what we have a business license under, well, does the barber shop have a business license, I'm assuming?
Yeah, just do a quick search.
I think under like a Google search, they come up at 757, but that doesn't mean it's accurate, that's
I
just
could have
Google.
swore that when Landis had his insurance office there, it was 759. And the bank had
When
the
was he,
corner.
at the end, or,
No, he was where
He was-
Ernie is.
okay,
And then the bank, when they were in there, was 759.
okay.
And so then the laundromat, what was that address?
Ernie's
I
listed
don't
at 757.
Hmm?
Ernie's is listed at 757.
757.
So it's
Yeah.
59 at the corner, 57, and then 55.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was no 753, I remember that, I do know that.
No, cause, and even the house, it would have to be to the east of that, and the house next door is a completely different address, that's 740 something, or,
And Anna Tristan's 759.
Anna Tristan,
Tristan,
okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, seamstress is 759, so,
She's on the corner,
right,
but she used to be in between the barber shop and Sophia's.
yep,
So what was she then?
I'd have to look back.
yeah, we don't have the, you know, we'd have to dig it up, cause
And the
we
issue
only
here
have
is
the
you
current
can't
ones.
issue a liquor license to the same physical location. Two liquor licenses to the same
Well,
location, correct?
yeah, no, because it's basically, you're giving 2 people liquor licenses for the same space, you know.
And that's why the issue of the address is.
That's the
Yeah.
issue with the address. You know, the rest is up to the board as to, you know, they can look it over and see if it's, we've always said with gaming, you know, we we want it to be in addition to the town, something that we don't have already, you know, this is what other boards have said. It's up to this board, I don't think we've even discussed it at this level now with new trustees, but, so that's up to them as far as, you know, what they're interested in as far as the particular business. My concern as liquor commissioner is 2 liquor licenses in one space, because that's basically what that amounts to.
And unfortunately, we have 2 board members missing.
Yes, we do, but,
And we can't do anything tonight with it anyways.
well, yeah, we can't do any voting anyway, because it's
Yeah.
not an agenda item. This is for you to give the information. I mean, is there anything else you want to let them know about, what you're trying to do, or?
No.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for her?
No.
No?
No.
Should we put her on the agenda for the next
Yeah.
board meeting?
Yeah, we can put it on the agenda for our
August
next
28th.
board meeting, yeah, at the end of the
Consider-
month.
Yeah, that'd be, what class would that be? So consider a beer only license, we'll figure out
Yes.
what class that is.
They get to see.
Okay,
Okay.
alrighty, yep, you're set.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, fellas.
When you're right, Ryder. I appreciate the effort.
Well, that wasn't mine. And probably Jeanette's too.
Yeah. All right, village clerk's report.
Total tax income received in the month of July, $258,534.88. That's it.
Okay. Reports of village commissions, 4th of July commission, trustee Kraus.
I don't think they do. Is there a, I don't know. next
They
week?
have a meeting August 23rd at
Okay.
6:30 to go over the final reports for the last year's festival.
That's what he said.
Okay.
That's all.
Youth Commission, I will give that report. Youth Commission will be hosting a Parents' Night Out fundraiser on September 23rd from 7 to 11 p.m. at Sit-in Bull. Fundraiser tickets can be purchased from a BYC member or by emailing beecheryc@gmail.com. The tickets are $35 ahead of time or $40 at the door. In addition to supporting the Beecher Youth Commission the ticket purchase will get you food and drinks at Sit-in Bull that evening, and a large variety of raffle baskets from local businesses will also be available. Next meeting is September 19th at 7:30 p.m. at Village Hall. I tried to say it kind of with the same cadence that Ben does, but. Historic Preservation Commission, trustee Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. The last meeting, our main topic of discussion was ways to draw more interest and involvement to the Preservation Commission. Some possible ideas were kids coloring contests, historic displays in the schools, library, and possibly Village Hall. For anyone interested in more info on how to get involved in the Historic Preservation Commission, we invite you to come to our next meeting this Wednesday, August 16th at 6 p.m. at the Depot. That concludes my report.
Alrighty. And that's it for commissions. Under my report, we received notification of the resignation for Kat Gonzalez and Megan Haddon from Beecher Youth Commission. So as always,
Yeah.
it just came.
I mean, it's supposed to storm, I didn't think it's.
I know. As always, all of the commissions are looking for volunteers.
And the youth commission is unique in that you have a child that goes through that phase of participating in youth activities, and your child is up in high school, and you're like, why am I still doing this? So there is more of a turnover on youth commission, so I'm speaking to the camera here. If you wanna get involved, the youth commission is the way to go.
All right, initial fire inspections. Our new fire inspector has started the job. This past Friday was her second week. She's here on Fridays from 9:30 to 2:30, so she's doing approximately 5-hour stints, and she's doing about 10 inspections at a time. So she's kind of blowing through, and we could probably be done in about 8 or 10 weeks with the annual inspections, not counting re-inspections. So interestingly enough, we've been getting average about five or so kind of things that each business has issues with, and they were things that have never had an issue before. So some things like fire extinguishers not just being tagged, but having signage showing where they are. I don't think anybody knew that they were supposed to do that. So that's something I'm seeing come through. There's the typical things about not having the gas cylinders tethered or, put together. Most of the issues they've had are not repeat issues, they're actually, decent issues that just the businesses didn't know about before. There's a few things with circuit breakers that aren't tagged correctly, but there are some new things that were not addressed before. So it's been kind of interesting looking at the reports. Thus far, I've spoken to a few of the business owners because there were a couple things we had to make some decisions about. I stopped in at the businesses, and while I was going over the issues that were there, I asked how the inspection went, and they says, oh, everything went great, everything was fine, yeah, we got a few things to do. So I haven't gotten any complaints yet. I'm still reaching out to people to see if there are any issues with it. But a few of the business owners have actually just gone straight to her as far as saying, hey, I'm ready for my re-inspection, do you wanna come out? So that's kind of unusual, but, she seems to have a decent rapport. She's very instructional, where she likes to tell people exactly why they need specific things done, why it matters. So far they're going well, but she's got a lot of stuff she's going over. So she's been doing it for many, many years, and she's
When we
doing it.
interviewed her, I could tell she had a trained eye.
Yes, she did. Yep. So, anybody have any questions?
So it's the stuff she's finding isn't new rules, it's just stuff that wasn't,
That was not addressed before.
okay.
Yeah, no, there's no new rules, and, one of the things they asked in our meeting was, which fire code do we go by? It's 2015, she knows that. These are things, and even the signs with the fire extinguishers, I didn't know that, and she sent me a link and says, oh, here's where you can find it, and dear Lord, you go to Amazon, and there's signs everywhere for, what you're supposed to have above your fire extinguishers. I didn't know that, so.
I wonder if we better think about what we need then.
You'll be needing those too. And you can even get just like decals you put on the wall, that's what some of them were about.
Sticky
yay big.
signs.
Exactly, yeah. I didn't do one for where I work yet, just because it's around the corner, so I'm kind of waiting for her to come in, because I don't know if I'm gonna have to have something sticking out to let people know that it's around the corner, rather than just putting a sticky sign, so I'm just waiting for the ding, and then I'll, figure out what we need then. So, but there are no, how do I wanna put it? There were no little things like a plant and, things like that. These were all, very specific, this is what's needed for safety kind of things. Hood vents that hadn't been cleaned out in a long period of time in restaurants, things that are supposed to be done every 6 months and, hadn't been done, and, things like this, things that were very specific and very important to be done, so. Okay, committee reports. Finance and Administration Committee, Trustee Kraus.
Thank you. Treasurer's report?
The July month end for the village accounts, $8,140,736.26. The July month end for the commission accounts, $369,376.52. The combined total, $8,510,112.78. The July month end in general, $1,320,067.61. The total of the commission non-AP payments for the month of July, $519,040.45. We did pay the first of 12 payments for the Penfield Street loan. That's $88,887.50. So you'll see that on the next 11 reports. In CESFA, these were both previously board approved. The Public Works mini excavator and a mower. Other than that, pretty standard.
And you rolled over 2 CDs, correct?
I did.
What were the rates on 4.4?
4.4, yeah, 4.4. We have another one coming due August 24th that we discussed. Our current interest rate in our checking accounts is 3.6%. So,
Nice.
If there's no questions, that would end my report.
I'll make a motion approving the treasurer's report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion? Roll call?
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus?
Yes. Also, variance reports are enclosed for review, and then bills and payroll. There's no additions, just because we do this every 2 weeks. So, I'll make a motion approving the bills and payroll in the amount of $188,630.92.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion? Roll call?
Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Audit field work is being completed, report is being compiled, and the presentation is tentatively set for October 10th at the village board meeting. History of fund balance in major village accounts is provided annually for your review. As you can see, our major funds are performing well, with the general fund actually overperforming. Reserves in the general fund may be used to complete the new police station or for resurfacing roads, but this is something that the board will make a decision in the future. And that's all I have.
Okay. Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee, Trustee Kraus.
That's not all I have. Project Pickle update, still public
No
access
advance,
here.
so I guess I get to do it. It's progressing well. I think they're starting the painting of the surface. I think they got all the netting up.
Yeah, I went by there today, the fencing's up, it actually looks really nice.
Yeah. And I don't know if they got the surface down. It rained today, but they're planning on working the next week or two. And by the next meeting, we should have a final project report.
And then, police station construction schedule, will be discussed this next meeting, we're gonna wait for the chairman to get back. The architect will be present to join the discussion and when to open the project to bid. As of now, it looks like a September letting is feasible. ARPA account spending activity and project, status report is enclosed. Do we need to run down the list?
I thought Matt was gonna be here, but he's not, so it's in there for your review.
The only thing I noticed in there is that, for the lighting project, we just paid into this bill, but it's not accounted for in this, so I don't know if that needs to be changed, because they're color coded, right?
Yeah, it needs to be added if it.
Well, no, I think it's not counted as being paid, the lighting bill, so we
But now it
just paid
is.
that right now.
Yeah, this report was made before
Okay.
that bill was paid.
So that,
So that changes color.
Okay. Now that's all I have.
So you think.
Maybe
Fine.
keep it TBD.
Planning, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Gardner.
Building Department monthly report is enclosed for your review. The steering committee for the new zoning ordinance is scheduled to meet at 7 p.m. on Thursday, August 24th. As of now, there is no agenda for a PZC meeting. And the results of the building code survey taken by the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association is enclosed for your review. That concludes my report.
All right. Public Safety Committee, Trustee Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. The Police Department, EMA, and Code Enforcement monthly reports are all enclosed for everybody to review. And with our National Night Out, which was last Tuesday on August 2nd, first of all, I think that I'd like to express a big thank you for everybody who participated. I think the show of support to promote the awareness and safety and neighborhood unity was present throughout the night, from having many different people from the trustees and, the police officers, and even we had the business representatives and along with, for all those that don't know, we had the police department was there, the fire department was there, EMA, Public Works, Beecher Youth Commission, the Village Hall, and all the other employees, the Lions Club. Kenny was there from the 4th of July Commission. We had Dunkin' there, Wes's Services, Artie with Dutch American Food, and then we had Team Hernandez, with the Police and Kids Together, that were there with their demonstration. That was a very huge hit, so big thanks to them. I don't think the night would have been as successful as it was, and with Sergeant DeCord bringing in that extra bouncy house, and from code enforcement and Joe Giannotti hitting the dunk tank. I think it all was a great success. We served over 200 hot dogs and hamburgers. As far as like a head count, I wouldn't even, I would say we were.
I heard 400 ice cream cones.
Yeah, we ran out of ice cream cones, so we just started serving ice
So I
cream
think
bowls.
Joe hit 12 of those, so just for 1 year minus 12.
It's like Joey's Haggard.
Between Joe and the chief, that might be 20 right there.
I had a bowl by the time I got to there.
The park was packed.
It was busy, it was good, I mean,
Very
it was
well.
really good to see the park as busy as it was, so. And then, we'll send out, thank you letters, and I'll go drop those off to all the different, businesses and associations and stuff that it has, that would have participated. So does anybody have any ideas for next year?
I don't know how they did the PR, but the number of people that showed up was unbelievable, so I don't know how, if it was social media that did it, or
Aaron did a lot of the
in-house.
stuff through social media,
Yeah.
and the ladies did a lot of the stuff with the board, with the
LED sign,
Yeah.
Facebook pages.
yeah, it was amazing.
It's just good community involvement.
Volunteers for a dunk tank.
new volunteers for the dunk tank, duly noted. You wanna
No,
get
I'm
in
just
instead
gonna,
instead of just pass out balls?
there's no second, so we don't have to take that up.
I know as far as food went, we went through the pizza very fast, and then people were asking about it the rest of the night, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
That
and again, I thank everybody here, because, it's on these events, like everybody knows, if it's not all hands on deck, it's a lot of work. So, and it's a lot of work even when all hands are on deck, so I think everybody was very appreciative of everybody working out, unifying together. And then with that, the police department had received a $50,000 grant through our LCC communications, and we're utilizing that grant to purchase some new radios and also 2 computers and stuff for the squad cars. So that money's pretty much gone up. And when it comes to our Lairway dispatch costs, that's actually gone up for majority, I would say, by all the towns that are involved in the communications center.
Ours was the biggest increase because
Yeah,
activities up.
activities up with traffic stops, so whenever, the way we're billed whenever there's, our communication to the dispatchers, so whenever we communicate to them, fees go up.
I'll just add, Joe, because I had some questions. Well, what does this cost Beecher? And this fiscal year, it'll cost us $9,160 more. Next year, we'll have to add another $24,000 to that. And then in 2 years, when our dividend goes away, then we'll see a $42,000 increase. So you have time to plan for those increases in dispatching costs.
So the 22 is just the increase across the board for everybody. That's contractual.
Right, and
But
then-
the 29 is tied into call volume.
It's the call volume for
I looked at it, our calls went up like, 2,300 over year? Where are those coming from? I mean, they can't all be traffic stops.
A majority of them are traffic stops. Each officer's we have each officer doing at least 3 traffic stops a day, and that's each officer. So, we would normally have, if we have 2 guys on the street, that's, on each shift, so that's gonna be 4 guys,
So it is mostly due
12,
to traffic.
it's 12, that's 12 that's 12 more activities that we have a day that we didn't have. I don't wanna say that we would go without a call, but there would be days where we may not go out with a call, and then now every day, we're doing a minimum of 12. So.
And all the FTOing we've been doing, does that increase radio traffic?
Radio traffic?
Yeah, because you're teaching the guy how to do it.
No, I don't think so, because I think a lot of the stuff too, and sort of correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the things that they can do as far as an activity, you can actually log yourself in and out. If they're going down on a business check, and some of the communities do this, they'll radio the business check on the radio, to where, and then that cost goes to the communication center, because they're the ones that are typing it in.
They punch
You
a
do
card.
it- Yeah, they punch a card and they do it all, but one of the benefits that we have is we've got our sideband to where we can go ahead and we can say, hey, you know, we're gonna be doing a business check, and we can talk to each other, and then this way your partner knows you're out doing a business check at this location, you type it in the computer, and then it logs you there, so this way the dispatchers know where you are, and now your partner knows where you are, and it didn't cost us to have to communicate with Waterway Communications. So,
So if you guys log it yourselves, they don't charge you?
correct. They only charge us based upon our
Radio charge?
radio track.
Thank you.
So then, I guess we pretty much went over all the price increases. Do you want me to reiterate that, or you?
No, in the packet is the effects of the new CBA that was approved between the county and the dispatchers. You'll see the cost increases there, which we have
And on
very
the
little
full
say.
staff, they're pretty much up to full staff. For a while there, they weren't up to full staff.
Correct, and they did a lot of lateral hiring, which costs more. And they're supposed to improve performance, because I was told that our response time, from the time someone calls 911 to the time the police or fire is dispatched, there was a period of time that was not acceptable. They had to get that period of time down to under 40 seconds or something like that. And that's what they gotta do, and that costs money to do that, resources. So, it's not a cheap business.
Well, so was that increase, cause it's, the call volume is based on three-year
Correct.
average, right? So is that, the numbers you ran, is that enough then? Cause the average,
No, I based it on what I know the numbers are. If the numbers keep going up,
so it's
You're gonna
based on
see
a
more.
continual increase?
correct.
'Cause I'd
But
rather,
then it depends on what the other agencies are doing too. Are they increasing their call volume or decreasing their call volume? It all depends on what the other departments are doing as well.
yeah, I just wanna make sure we're budgeting enough for that three-year average to
Yeah, and
continue to go
unfortunately-
up or to go.
Right now, we don't have money budgeted in there right now, I don't think.
I did budget an increase, but it was 9160 short of what we approved in the new budget. So we're short, and that's the problem. The county's budget is December 1st fiscal year, we're May 1st. So we have 5 months of increase that we have no clue what it's gonna be every fiscal year. You know? So I budgeted an increase, but it wasn't enough this year. Other years it was too much.
And that concludes my report.
Okay, Public Works Committee, trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works monthly reports and totals for your review, along with the Water Department's monthly report, and the sewer monthly report. Penfield Street construction update will be provided.
Yes, as you all know, school opens on Wednesday, and the road is not done. So we have implemented what we call Plan B. And I think you all saw the press release for Plan B, which involves parents going around what we're gonna call the loop, dropping kids off at Catalpa and Hodges, going down Catalpa, going to Park, back up, Birch, and then out on Hodges to Dixie Highway. If you wanna walk your child to school, you can park in the bowling alley parking lot and walk your child to the front door of the school if you so desire. We'll get you across Dixie Highway. We rely heavily on the police department to help us out in this effort, EMA. A couple trustees, Roger's volunteering to come down there and help with the mayhem, and office staff are gonna be out there doing it. But it's all hands on deck, and we want these parents to know that the village feels their pain in addition to just, we don't wanna dump it on the school district. We created the problem, we're gonna help solve the problem. The schedule right now is to get done and open that road on Monday, but we lost a day today because of rain, they didn't pour curb. So we're planning on possibly Monday or Tuesday of next week, we're gonna have to keep the same Plan B in effect until that road is done. It is what it is. It's gonna be very inconvenient for parents. They're gonna be vying for prime spots at 6:30 in the morning, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But that's Wednesday morning's problem. Yeah, and Public Works is gonna be out there. We're barricading off the roads. We got signs with arrows, drop off here, turn here. The school buses are gonna be dropping the kids off at Fireman's parking lot. That's gonna be barricaded off. and that's only for bus drop-off and pickup. And we're gonna walk the kids across the footbridge to the school. We have a good plan, and hopefully it doesn't rain, or storm.
Yeah.
If it storms, we got a real problem, but let's have a nice enjoyable first day of school for the parents and the kids.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay, storm damage pickup, after July 28th wind event. Creek came down and helped out Public Works Department chip away branches of the parkway on August 1st. The superintendent would like to thank Creek for their assistance and mutual aid during that time, and they did a very good job, all of them did a very good job. Public Works Committee forms policy on streets moving forward. Policy is enclosed for your review. If there's no recommendation for the change in the policy, it will stand.
And that means we're only in charge of the road surface, no paved shoulders. Is that correct?
That's on non-curved streets. Okay, Indiana Avenue resurfacing project update.
Yes, the sidewalks are being poured. Today they were pouring sidewalks, they'll be finishing pouring tomorrow, weather permitting. Then they can come in and start the, first lift and the final lift. They can't do any of that till the sidewalks are in, because they gotta match the sidewalk with the asphalt. The trains are blowing their horns right now because the quiet zone is down on Indiana Avenue. And they consider that a significant crossing, so the trains are using their horns. As soon as the final surface goes on the road, the quiet zone will go back into effect. But until then, we just have to be patient. That project should be done before the next board.
Will they do that again with Penfield?
No, because we are
That's a
talking,
smaller.
well, we're talking about just barricading Penfield off for construction and leaving the quiet zone, well, the quiet zone can come down because no traffic will be going through there.
Okay.
Then people can use Hodges Street. We want to try to discourage people from using Penfield. So Hodges in Indiana will be open, but Penfield will be closed during the construction in that specific area.
Okay.
So we don't lose the quiet zone. That's the plan. But as you know, with this Penfield Street job, plans are changing every day.
Yep.
Okay, we have $20,000. Village is set aside for sidewalk replacement program is set to begin. Sidewalks have been identified for replacement and bids are being obtained. South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association released its water rate study and it is enclosed for your review. There are several interesting comparisons can be made in the rates and also water loss reports of other communities for your review to check that out.
Yes, I don't want to mention specific communities, but we have a water loss problem, but it's not uncommon. Correct, Donna? Donna
That is
found report
correct.
very interesting as to what
Yeah.
people are charging, what they're being charged in rates and what their water loss is. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. I know we are very diligent about tracking what our water loss is, and there was one town who,
rather large town.
yeah, whose response was, we have no idea. You know, so, we're not alone, I guess, is kind of what it is.
And that concludes my report.
All right. Economic Development and Community Relations Committee, I will give the report. So the results of the Tree Lighting Planning Committee meeting, and actually, I have the results here. The event is gonna happen Sunday, November 26th. The initial meeting went well. We discussed some lessons learned from the prior year's event and started our planning for 2023. Some of the notable updates are the lighted parade is on again this year, but will be held on village streets rather than in the park. Lineup will be at 4:30 for the parade, starting at 5, and the tree lighting will follow directly afterward. The final parade route will be decided closer to the event due to the Penfield Street construction, but the intention is to kick off the event with the parade starting at Peace Lutheran Church and making its way with a short trip to Fireman's Park by the most convenient route. The village plans to provide a combined $300 in cash prizes for parade floats, or whatever you put in the parade. The village plans to run a holiday home decorating contest for both residences and village, businesses, and this is not gonna be indoor like the old house walk, this will only be the outside of the homes. We will have cash prizes and a bragging rights plaque to go to 5 lucky winners to be announced at the tree lighting. And we will come up with more information about that and registration information at a later date. But basically, as long as you register for the event, your house will be considered, so.
I gotta do a form for that.
Hmm?
They want a form for the next meeting, so I gotta come up with a form for that.
And Beecher Lions Club has graciously volunteered to donate $250 towards materials to be purchased for the Santa's Workshop children's activities, and additionally intends to hold a holiday movie showing in the Washington Township Community Building the day of the tree lighting prior to the main festivities. The Township Building has also graciously offered the location to us for use during the tree lighting, free of charge. So whether we use that, depending on what happens with the weather, whether we need to move any of the activities indoors or mainly use it for bathrooms.
Bathrooms.
Yep, we'll figure that out closer to the event. Work has begun on the application for the ComEd Light Up the Holidays grant to attempt to secure additional funding for the event. If we're successful, the grant will be used to purchase permanent signage and park decorations primarily. The grant has to be used for things that are ongoing, that can be used for more than 1 year. So we can't just use it for, for the kids' activities for a single year, it has to be reusable. Summer concert series update. The Easy Tones Polka Band had a solid turnout of polka lovers. This is Ben's spiel here. The next concerts will be Marty Bad Dog Mercer on Saturday, August 26th from 7 to 9. And Mikasa will be serving food starting at 6:15. And the final concert of the summer is Maggie Speaks on Saturday, September 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. with food for purchase from Happy Life Ranch. And that is all Ben has to report.
Just one additional thing, one thing that we talked about the grant buying is a fire ring, but Creek's donated a fire ring, we have it already.
Okay.
So we don't need a fire ring, it's already tied, you gotta keep it inside the rig now, you can't do
We'll see.
a massive bonfire.
It's a big ring.
It's a big ring, it's a nice ring, I mean, it'll come in
We
handy.
can put a lot.
Yeah.
Don't go wide,
I'll
go
just-
taller.
As I say, I'm just stacking, that's fine. I hear you, Bob, I'm tracking, I gotcha. I gotcha.
All right, is there any, and that concludes Ben's report. Is there any old business to come before the board?
I saw in the SSMMA newsletter about the South Suburban Airport. Is there any local news, or it's just, that's all they put out? And
To me, it's a fluff bill. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, if someone were to knock on the governor's door and say, hey, we want to build an airport, I think he'd listen to him anyway. So I don't know what that bill makes anybody do.
It seems like it gives them a time limit, doesn't it? They have to pursue it within X amount of,
This has been going on for 30 years. I mean, I don't know
they have to see
how
if they can find out.
putting a timeline on it's gonna
Yeah.
change anything.
Yeah.
But,
so nothing's changed.
no, I
No.
just don't think it
And
does.
years ago, they started it with a public-private partnership, and there were a few companies that came forth, and when they vetted it, none of them were able to do a project of that size. They just kind of fell by the wayside, so, none of them were viable, choices for
If
that
there was a
project.
viable user for the airport that knocked on the governor's door and said, we wanna talk about building an airport, I think he'd listen. He doesn't need legislation to tell him that.
That's what I was sort of wondering, so there's not like
Yeah.
someone that has pushed, someone in the private sector pushing this, but all of a sudden this bill just popped up out of nowhere?
Don't think so.
Okay.
No,
And just one other, this older new business. This is.
well, we did old, we can do it under
I
old.
just wanna apologize to the residents for the Penfield Street project. It's been very inconvenient, it's been a disaster. But like the engineers keep telling me, a year from now, no one will ever remember the road was torn up and they'll say, boy, does this look great and does it work nice? You can see how wide it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's good, so hang in there, folks, we're getting there. And it's been a struggle, it's been a struggle.
Is there any new business to come before the board? All right, we have a motion to adjourn,
Yes.
second?
Second.
All right, roll call.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.